Hey, shalom, 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 Makims. First and foremost, giving all praises unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Bakakwadash, giving double honors to our apostles and elders of great millstone. Shalom, salutation to all you sincere Akims across the four winds, pushing this truth with sincerity of heart, because I'm a guy in DC camp. And I got a quick, breaking news I wanted to share with y'all brothers. And basically, of course, this is our RT News, okay? Washington Today, and it says illegal seizure. It says U.S. police raid Venezuelan embassy in D.C. to evict pro-Maduro activists. All right, so basically, what's going on now? You got a huge stalemate going on, which you should already know about the huge stalemate going on over there in Venezuela, with the legitimate government of the legitimate Venezuelan government, which is ran by the president Nicolas Maduro, in a stalemate with the usurper Juan Guaido, right, which he's backed by the a lot of European nations such as America is the main nation that's backing him, and basically again it's just an usurper, and that's gonna cause civil war, right? And what's happening now is that since the Americans have pretty much decided to name Juan Guaido the interim president, which he's really not, now they're moving on to the embassies. So let's read a little bit about this. It says activists occupying the Venezuelan embassy in Washington are refusing to vacate the premises in defiance of a notice threatening them with arrest for refusing to turn over the building to representatives of Juan Guaido. Right, because these people still belong to the legitimate government of Venezuela right now, which is which is the government of Nicolas Maduro. All right, but the thing is that he's not leaving, because when you look at the elections, it's been, and I heard this all over that he won the elections, by a huge margin. Now you do have people that do support Juan Guaido, but it's really a strong, it really like a minority, okay. But when you're dealing with America, it doesn't matter. They set up leaders and they uproot leaders. They're trying to play the Most High, because the Most High said in the scriptures he's the one who set up kings and then uproot kings. All right. Then you got this pseudo god Esau, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, always trying to play like he's the Most High, man, and policing the whole earth, man. This is a quote. It says, "We are expecting the police to come in and violate the Vienna Convention with their fictional government." Non-government claiming that we should leave. The so-called Embassy Civilian Protection Collective said on video message. So that's the video right there. The fictional government. It says, a final message from the Venezuelan Embassy Protection Collective as police prepared to unlawfully raid the building, which the raid happened in D.C., And it's amazing to see that, because if I'm not mistaken, America did the same thing to the Russian embassy. All right, they raided the Russian embassy, if I'm not mistaken. That was last year, late last year. All right, it says calling the trespassing notice posted on the embassy's door by an unknown entity in unlawful order. The activists promised to continue their civil disobedience just as police began to clear out the pro-Guaido camp outside the building, which has been harassing the pro-Maduro collective for weeks. We're going to be prepared to be arrested. We're not going to leave voluntarily. Despite their resolve to state and protect the diplomatic mission from the illegal seizure by Guaido-appointed U.S. representative Carlos Vecho, pro-Maduro activists have been urged to depart immediately from the building in which they have lived for the last 34 days by a notice which has not been signed by any U.S. government agency. So they just got a regular, like a look at this. It's just like a printed regular paper. This is the United States of America, the virgin daughter of Babylon spoken of in the Bible. This great kingdom, and you push this democracy shit. This is why the Lord is systematically destroying America. All right, systematically destroying America. He's also destroying America's ways that's been spread across the globe. Okay, the spirit of Edom, Esau, is shown to be the failure. Lucifer, the light bearer, the Edomites, they're shown to not be Lucifer. Okay, they're just a bunch of phonies, man. Democracy is trash. It doesn't work. But the majority, you simple-headed Negroes, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native American Indians, in particular Venezuelans, which you guys are so-called Latinos, right, from the tribe of Asher, of the nation of Israel, okay? You've bought into this democracy crap, and now it's biting you in the ass, man, okay? You make the deal with the devil, that's what happens, okay? All right? So basically, a lot of us, they're getting evicted. There was an illegal seizure and raid, but that's what Esau does. He set up a constitution, but he constantly adjusting it and breaking his own laws, when it comes to putting a foot up our ass, man. All right? But it's only the beginning. There's more of that coming, man. Now, this is I got a few precepts. This is on Sirach or Ecclesiasticus of the Apocrypha, chapter 12, verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." So Venezuela, just the fact that you engage into democracy is almost as if you were putting trust, in the ways you put trust in the ways of your enemy, man. Okay? Even if you call yourself, being anti-America, but you wearing suits and ties. The way you run your democracy, the way you run your government is in a form of democracy. You have votes and stuff like that. That means that you really just against the land of America, but you're not against the idea. It's one thing to be against the land of America, but the land of America, the United States, the land Babylon, it's not the land itself that's the problem. It's the people, the inhabitants of the land, the owners of the land. The idea, that comes out of the minds of the people that own the land. That's why America, the land, is going to be destroyed. So the real issue, the real enemy is Esau's ways, man. Esau's belief and doctrine, all right? Not the actual land, all right? Example, the land of Israel in the Middle East, there's a land, there was an ancient landmark called the land of Edom. That's going to be ours. We're not going to just not deal and not take over the land of Edom, because it has the name Edom. It's not about the land. It's about the people, man. Everything starts with the people before it ends with the place. All right. The next scripture that I have is, I'm going to close with this. This is Isaiah chapter 30:1. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me." Meaning what? When you set up your government, it's not set up in a way that the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and his son, Yahushua, want you to set up. All right? And the Lord is speaking to you Israelites, okay? It says, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. All right? And Venezuela, there's a lot of sins. All right? You Venezuelans are super idol worshippers, man. Okay? Which when you're in democracy, that's what it does. Do as that will. And that wicked spirit has spread across Latin America. Okay? That's what a lot of you so-called Latinos, you're going to be put to death, man. Why? Because you've bought into the image of the beast, okay? The image is what? When you look up the word image, it goes back to the word idol or idea, okay? Democracy is an image. It's an idea. It's an idol, okay? Verse 2, it says, to go down to Egypt. All right? Egypt right there is talking about spiritual Egypt, spiritual Egypt, which is the United States of America, okay? And have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. So you trusting in the shadow of spiritual Egypt, which is America, by what? By, going at, believing in their democracy, the way they do commerce, all right, the banking system. A lot of you idiots, you Venezuelan idiots in that place, especially the government, you trusted in this man's system and you started turning your oil into this man's money, right? And then you put your money and even the gold that you had, you put your gold in this man's banking system, man. And now Esau was able, this devil was able to strip a lot of the actual money, the wealth of Venezuela. I'm not talking about the resource because they still got the oil, but I'm talking about the actual finances, the gold the Venezuela reserved, and they put that gold in the international banks, which belongs to them Edomites. Now they don't have access to their own money. That's what you get. That's what it means to trust in the shadow of Egypt, man. Okay, verse 3, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh, the modern day Pharaoh is Edom Esau, the so-called white man, okay? The devil that the Bible speaks of. It says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame. And that's what you see. This is shameful, man. This is shameful. They walked into your embassy. According to democratic laws, you're not supposed to just walk. Because this right here, the embassy of Venezuela is really what it is. It's kind of like Venezuelan land in America. That's what an embassy is. So a nation can't just move. It's like occupation, you know. It's sovereignty. It's a sovereign estate. Okay, an embassy is a sovereign estate. You can't just move in there. It'll be like you just going into Venezuela. At least that's according to democratic law. But Esau, of course, he's the devil. He's going to make rules and break them. That's what democracy is. And now it's bringing shame to you Asherites, Venezuelan, you know, which you really Israelites from the tribe of Usher, man. So you got to bear the shame, and you're going to have a civil war in your land. And a lot of you are going to die in the civil war, and also the pestilence is coming, okay? It says, I'm going to read again, Isaiah 30:3. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. All right? So that's what's going on right now, man. You know, you got this shameful what's going on, but it's all prophecy, man. It's all prophecy. Only the elect of Yahweh Shemel shall only elect of the tribe of Asher, you know, over there, you Venezuelan. Only the elect can see that. They're going to wake up and smell the coffee and, you know what I'm saying, and be and marked. You know, when I say marked, I'm talking about the wa in the Hebrew, you know, marked for exemption from judgment, okay? Because they're the ones who's cried and signed for the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Democracy is an abomination, all right? So hopefully, brothers, you know, was, you know, edified. And, of course, again, it's breaking news is what's going on, up to date. Illegal seizure, U.S. police raid Venezuelan embassy in D.C. to evict pro-Maduro activists. Kar Halayam La, Yahweh Shem Shad, honors to our masters, the apostles, elders, a great millstone. Shalom, salutation to you, sincere Akins, man. Stay strong, stay faithful. Shalom.